What's good, people? What's good? We're out here again, man. We're gonna get out here and see what's going on that spillway out here. We know the water's up. We know it's running, and whenever this water's running, when the temperature's right and the water flow is right, the crappie gonna be in here. But as you can see, I mean, this water's running really hard. We're talking, on the other side, it's almost up to the parking lot, pretty high up on the rocks over here as well. So y'all forgive the shake of the camera there. I thought I had my stabilization set, but I didn't quite have it set on the GoPro. But I'm looking around, I'm seeing people. There are people still out here trying, but there's really not going to be much action out here today. I don't even think I'm going to take my poles out. Now this wasn't my original spot of intention to fish, but I want to stop by here because I know the water's up, and whenever the water's up, you can do pretty good out here. It's one of the best fishing places I could think of. When this water's right, let's see, there's an eddy right there, right out front there, but it's pretty close to the bank. And as the water rises up the rocks start to level out and go even. So it wouldn't even be worth fishing right there. Not for me anyway. Then you got to get in between those people, and they're fishing out there. The current's pulling it which way or the other. So probably in about 2 or 3 days here, it'll level out just right. Otherwise, temperature-wise, is good. This water if it drops about 3 feet, they'll slow those jets down. And now, if you look over there in that corner over there, you see boats over there in those trees. Now, over there in those trees, you can really find some. And even over here, right here in this slack water here. But as you can see, there are many people already fishing out here. Too many for me to get in there, because I don't like to be resigned to fishing in one spot. And especially if the fish are right along the bank, you're resigned to that one spot of fishing. So let's try our next spot. All right, here we go. We're out here. This is another side of the same body of water here, and crappie are, they're moving around, they're feeding around, pretty close here. We got a nice little speed on that. We're fishing pretty close to the bank here, and that's just because that's just where they are. You fish for the fish where they are. And even around here, this water's pretty high. It is dropping down a little bit over here, but let's give it another cast here. All right, now this water here isn't really deep, so we're only letting it drop down about 3 feet. And we got a slow, steady retrieve. Not a really slow retrieve, but it's pretty steady here. Let's see what we can get here. Should be in here. It should be in here. All right, there it is. There's one. Right on the bank too. Right on the bank. Yeah, little male patrolling around the bank. He's still got a little blackness on him as well. So, man, look at this. That's one thing about fishing on these doggone rocks, man. I left off, man, and went to get that fish out of there. Now I'm back again. Oh, there's another one. That's got a little size on it. See, there's a guy down there fishing. The craziest thing to me is that when I'm catching fish and people standing right by me aren't getting a bite, I'm thankful that I'm blessed enough to know how to catch these fish. There's another little black male. That's a nice size. Not too bad a male right there. Not too bad a male at all. Now, as you can see, I'm fishing with a curly tail there. I've got it's got a purple and lavender, for lack of a better way to put it. Purple and lavender color there. Man, look at that fish. Isn't that a pretty color on that fish? I mean, that is one beautiful fish, man. I'm telling you. You're looking at that. I mean, you're seeing prime crappie right there, man. Prime crappie. Great colors on it. See the markings on his tail from thrashing around out there. Let's put this fish back in the water, see if we can get another one here. All right. Get that fish goo off our hands there. All right, let's get back to it again. See, they're hitting it. Almost every cast they're hitting it, but they're really not hitting it to bite it. They're hitting it to move it. There's a big difference in the bite you get when they're hitting it to move it or when they're hitting it to eat it. They're hitting it to move it. It's on their bed. It's in their wake. They don't want anything around their bed. There's another one. Missed that one. That was a pretty good bite too. Pretty good bite. Can't believe that, man. The fish are in here. They're always in here. All right, so let's try another one here. See what we can get here. Should find something in here. They're in here. We just got to give them the bite. There's one. That's got a little bit of size on it. That's a nice little female there. Nice little female. You see how close she was to the bank? Like they're right on the bank. And you just got to, if you see I'm casting sideways to the bank because, you know, over here. Now, if I had fished that spillway, I wouldn't have had this type of access to the water. So here, man, I can fish all up and down this bank here. You see, there's some other guys here, but they're way down there. I got all of this area to myself here. And that's kind of how I like to fish, man. I like to fish for joy. You know, of course, for sport. That's a nice little female crappie there, man. Nice little female. If you notice, she's about the same size the male was. This is what you have to understand. By the time you start catching crappie like this, the biggest crappies have already spawned out. You might catch a few stragglers, but the biggest crappies have already spawned out. Now I got an episode coming up for you on the next week where I'm going to show you some slabs. You know, but here, these fish aren't bad and they're biting. You know, that's the thing about bank fishing. You're resigned to the piece of water that you're fishing, so you really got to know the water. There's another fish. Got hung up there, man. That's another thing about these fish. They're in these rocks, and they'll catch you up. Now, there's a fish I caught, man. I didn't cut my camera back on when I cut it off. So there's a female that I caught, little female there. Here I'm fishing with these crappie magnets. Now, there's an old guy, call him Doc, that turned me on to crappie magnets. Man, I was at the spillway one day, and he was killing them. He was the only one catching them. And I mean, he was catching them every cast. So let's go ahead and put her back on in the water, man. That's a decent looking fish. Got a huge mouth on her. You see that huge mouth on her? She ain't the biggest fish, but you can see the eggs in her belly. And during the spawn, I don't keep females. You know, I don't keep females during the spawn. And when they got eggs in their belly, I don't keep them. Now, I'll catch them post-spawn, but when they got eggs in their belly, I don't keep them. These rocks, man, these rocks will tear you up. You got to know what you're doing on these rocks, man. Because, I mean, I had a buddy, he fell down the rocks, man. And literally, man, he had a gash so big on his knee, he had to go to his truck and sit down for a minute. But he wasn't going to leave that lake. He wouldn't see when he sat in his truck for a little while, came back out, got back to it with a bloody knee spot on his pants. So let's see what we can get out of here, man. As you can see, we changed up our presentation. We changed up our rod. I got two rods I fish with, man. I got the long 12-footer, and I got this little yellow 8-footer here. That's all I fish with. You don't need more than a couple of rods when you're tight lining. You know, I'm more concerned with reels than I am rods. So let's see what we can get out of here. As you can see, this water here is a little choppy. There's a fish. Missed that fish. Actually broke off. Now, that's another thing about fishing out here, man. Now you want to play games. There he is. There's a fish right there, man. Yeah, I got two. I got two green ones on. Woo, come here. He's doing a lot of shaking. About to break my line, man. That's a decent little fish, man. Decent little male. My buddy over here, man, he likes to keep them, so you know I ain't gonna keep him that side there, but I'm gonna give him to my buddy over there, man. All right, that's my buddy Rob up there, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give him this one. He I see him out here every time I'm out here fishing, and we really be the only one over here, like we got our own private lake over here.